Our panel, we have Barry Habib, Chief Strategy Officer at RPM Mortgage, Toby Smith of NBT Equities, and Liberal Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So, Toby, where do you come down on this? I mean, we want total freedom for Facebook,
I got
right?
no problem. They should pull it down. Now, look, if you look at any website, first off, there's terms and policies of engagement of dealing with, and clearly within that, just like in Amazon, just like in other places, there is no hate. And so this is a private enterprise that allows you, if you comply with their terms, to use their service. This is clearly not complying with their terms. And frankly, it's responsible for Facebook to take this down.
All right, Leslie, let me quote for you Debbie Frost. She is a spokeswoman for Facebook. Here is what she has said in defense of not taking it down. She says, while some kinds of comments and content may be upsetting for someone, criticism of a certain culture, country, religion, lifestyle, or political ideology, for example, that alone is not a reason to remove the discussion. That's what they're saying about why they won't remove this discussion. Do you think they're right or wrong on this?
I think there's a bit of both here. I think they're wrong in the sense that there should not be any speech that can incite a riot or violence toward any individual. I do have a problem with Israel or any country outside of the United States telling an American private corporation what to do and what not to do. And speaking of hate, David, I got to be honest, you should read the post just on my Facebook fan page, and I'm certainly not a country or a religion, so I'm just saying they would have to take a lot of stuff down if they did this.
I'll tell you, if you ask them to, they will take that stuff calling for murder and everything. But Barry, by its very nature, the call for an intifada against Israel, I think, is violent in nature, right?
Well, where's the common sense come in, David? I mean, really, first of all, this is, if you read her response again, it said something about derogatory information, but this is a little bit beyond that.
Well, no, it says, while some kinds of comments and content may be upsetting.
Okay. It's one thing to say something upsetting. Okay?
I don't like your beard.
Well, yeah, well,
okay,
neither do I sometimes. But the thing of it is that I guess I better take it down. No, but what happens is that you have something that's going on here. By the way, that response, interestingly enough, wasn't that issued the same day of that bombing that happened?
It was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, you know, where does common sense come in? I mean, this is something that is inciting not just some disparaging remarks. It's far beyond that. I can understand you don't want to take something down.
This is using Facebook essentially as one of your battle strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not forget also that this is anonymous. I mean, you know, one of the things, all media have gone to a point that said that if you're going to put these inflammatory things out, you're going to be what's known as a troll. And God knows on my Facebook, I got enough trolls that they come out and they just are saying horrible things about you. Well, okay, I can take that. When someone comes in and says, let's go and organize to burn down my house, they have clearly gone over the free speech line.
Okay, so what do we do now?
Well,
Facebook, we got a standoff here between the Israelis and Facebook. Yeah. Facebook says no. What do we do?
Well, I think Facebook is going to get rid of this speech. It is going to blow up in their face if they don't.
How?
Both literally. Because then you open up the slippery slope, and now you begin to say, well, geez, you know, the Nazi guys want to hold a Jerusalem thing, and now we're going to burn down a temple.
Well,
and now we're going to do this.
Is it possible that we have enough pressure from folks like you and other users of Facebook to pressure the company to withdraw this?
Yeah, but it can't just be this, David. Is there going to be this outrage for people that are saying these things about Muslims or Palestinians? Is it going to have the same, the people that say anything negative about African Americans or
wait a minute.
we have to be fair.
Hold on. Leslie, wait a minute, quiet. Leslie, do we have any evidence that there is a Facebook page with hundreds of thousands of people calling for the destruction of the African American race or the destruction of whatever? I mean, this is something very specific where a Facebook page is calling for the destruction of Israel. That seems to be somewhat unique to me.
I would imagine, quite frankly, David, and you know, you've got a great team there, that we could find out, and I would imagine we would find many pages. I think the reason we're talking about this is Israel brought our attention to it. I didn't know this page existed until we talked about it tonight, and I saw that Israel asked for this.
The thing is, what brings it to a crisis point is the fact that Facebook is saying we won't take it down. Yeah. I think they probably would take down hate-filled messages from the Ku Klux Klan or others, but they're not taking this one down.
Yeah, and that's the question: is why? Why wouldn't they have common sense, as we said earlier? This is far beyond normal. And what we need here is Facebook to kind of take some leadership and say, we're going to establish some fair policies that we can abide by that apply across.
Yeah, but the argument is that Egypt, a totalitarian regime, got taken down, and part of it was building a Facebook anti-Mubarak. So Facebook is saying, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We can't make a choice.
All right, last word. And don't forget to vote. Israel asking Facebook, government going to try to kill housing again. That story topping tonight's 2-minute drill. Let's fire up the clock. And just when housing couldn't get any worse, it did. The lack of demand suggests home prices and thus household wealth have even more room to fall. So do lawmakers have any harpoons left to throw at housing? Well, Barry Habib, you're neck deep in housing. You always have been. We had these awful housing numbers come in this week. 16% down from last month, 28% down from last year. It just shows that all our hundreds of billions of dollars of tax dollars have gone for nothing.
First of all, it's a very volatile number. I am bullish on housing long term. If you're going to buy a home, you should be fine over the long run. But every government program has done nothing but destroy the housing market. The tax credit program, we know what happened afterwards. And that's because who wants to buy a home right after that tax credit expires, right? So, oh yeah, I'll buy it when I don't get the 8th. So we had to go through a lot after that had occurred. And then even worse than that, interest rates had come down so much and making homes attractive, but people were so hung up that I'm no longer getting the tax credit. They didn't see the fact that they would have actually gotten a better deal without the credit based on lower interest rates.
Leslie, you know, there were great intentions, I know, and a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people had good intentions, but it doesn't work. All these housing programs, I mean, Barry desperately wanted the tax credit to work, and it didn't. He admits it didn't. Is it time for liberals to say, okay, we lost, we tried it, it doesn't work, let's try something else?
No, I wouldn't say it doesn't work because people were buying homes. What I would say is not working is giving people like Brian Moynihan and Bank of America a lot of money. They're posting profits and they're not lending the money for people to buy the homes. This isn't just about tax credits. This is about Americans not being able to get the money to buy the homes.
Okay, go ahead, Barry.
From somebody who's in the industry, they are lending the money, okay? Maybe you need to have better credit.
Not in
Maybe
California.
you need to, yes, in California. We're in California.
No.
Yeah.
RPM Mortgages in California.
Nice
We're
plug,
doing
Barry.
lots of mortgages out there.
Now look we have the Federal Reserve made $86 billion in profit in 2010, and part of their strategy was to prop up asset prices. Well, guess what? If they really wanted to, and you know that's going to make people spend. If you really wanted Americans to feel good, let's buy about 300,000 of these homes with the Fed.
Boy, we could have done a whole segment of this one. Thank you. There are many potential challengers to President Obama out there. We talked to one at the top of the show, but none are getting as much attention as Donald Trump, probably because he says stuff like this.
Why doesn't he show his birth certificate? And you know what? I wish he would, because I think it's a terrible pall that's hanging over him. He should show his birth certificate. The other thing, if you go back to my first grade, my kindergarten, people remember me. Nobody from those early years.
That's not true. We have pictures of it.
There's something on that birth certificate that he doesn't like.
What is the Donald up to here?
Well, first off, I would just like to say that his wife would make one hell of a first lady, all right? So I think that's really all I care about.
Stay on point.
But, squirrel, but the other issue is this is branding. This is pure Donald Trump. He's getting the opportunity to build his brand, and his brand is about, hey, I'm the best. Now you're adding a little presidential chops to this thing. He is going to milk this for as long as he possibly can.
Leslie, I know you're a Democrat, but does this help or hurt Donald Trump's chances for being president, or at least getting the nomination?
I think it hurts because, quite frankly, even though there's some people that still are hung up on where the president was born, and he was born in Hawaii, and there are people who remember him. My brother lives in Hawaii and knows some of them. And you can go online and you can see copies of the documents from the state of Hawaii. So Donald Trump, you know, he's smarter than this. He's smarter than this, and he should run with substance. That's what the American people want. They're tired of these gimmicks.
Well, not sure about the birth certificate and whether you could see it or not, but here's what I do know, is that this is a brilliant move to build personal branding by Donald Trump. I mean, this is mission. We're talking about it. We're talking about Donald Trump right now, aren't we? People at home listening about Donald Trump.
You know what is weird is that I know a lot of people went to school at Occidental College with, it was Barry at the time, and they bought the best Hawaiian pot from him. So that's the only people that I know that really know.
All right, let's move on.
Terrible.
It started as an argument on a New York City subway. A teenager eating spaghetti and a passenger telling her not to eat it on the train anyway, and it ended in a brawl as these two teens and a middle-aged woman exchanged blows. And it was all caught on video that went viral. Now, some groups are calling for the city of New York to ban eating on the subways, but the MTA chief says that would be unenforceable. So are new eating rules going to solve anything here, Leslie?
Well, you know what? I don't know. I lived in New York. Come on, guys. You know, two people brawling in New York, this is like an hourly occurrence. I mean, but at the same time, it is okay to say no smoking on planes, no smoking on trains, buses, on the subway. Why not? Why not sit down and eat like the Europeans? Maybe we wouldn't be so fat.
I think the point that we want to get to, though, Barry, is that the nanny state may not be the answer to this. More nanny state rules are not the answer. There's something going on in society that needs fixing. That is what
is New York. So I feel very sorry for those young kids because I'm sure that middle-aged woman just gave them a hell of a whooping. Secondarily, in Washington, D.C., it's been no food on the metro, I think, for 35 years. It's very enforceable. So this is just New York saying, yo, I want to have a hot dog.
By the way,
like your hot dog.
Scoreboard investigates yet It's time for Buy, Sell, or Hold. We take the names and stories in the news. We treat them as if they're stocks. Would you buy them, sell them, or hold them? Well, Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez, the guy keeps delivering for killing off life on Mars. Barry, is that a buy, sell, or hold?
Seriously? Maybe it was the unions.
One sell.
Listen, it's a buy for insanity, but it's a sell for stupidity.
Leslie, buy, sell, or hold?
Sell. Does this mean I stop putting my tooth under the pillow waiting for money from the capitalists?
Oh, I don't know. I said, you got to buy this guy. This is a guy, Hugo Chavez, who just keeps on delivering. How can we get more material from this guy? Scoreboard calls him a sell. Okay, a Denver man recently set a new world record. Darren Taylor, known as Professor Splash, look at this, dove from a 36-foot tall stand into a kiddie pool less than 12 inches deep. That does hurt, doesn't it? His 13th Guinness record. Professor Splash, by the way, is available for birthday parties and bar mitzvahs. Is he a buy, sell, or hold, Barry?
Love this guy. Hope he's wearing a cup.
One buy. I hadn't thought of that. Toby?
Oi, come to my bar mitzvah. Show me how you die.
Leslie, of course, didn't know what we were talking about. Leslie, buy, sell, or hold?
I know what a cup is, and I'm going to sell it because this is stupid as stupid does. How many kids are going to try this, and how many people are going to have spine injuries because of
has
this?
already been made.
I'm sure. I'm a buy on this. You know, good for this guy. Scoreboard says it's a buy. All right. What do you think is healthier? This is a trick question. We'll tell you right away. Hot dogs or rotisserie chicken? Well, according to a new study by Kansas State University, hot dogs, pepperoni pizza, deli meats, even bacon had lower levels of cancer-causing components than the rotisserie chicken. The reason, according to the researchers, the meats are manufactured at lower temperatures and they have less moisture. So hot dogs healthier than rotisserie chicken. You buy that, Barry?
One of my favorite books is How to Lie with Statistics. I'm selling this one.
I think you might be right.
Me likey hot dogs. I'm in.
Okay, he says buy. Leslie, are you buying this or not?
Sell. I was told a hot dog was made once. I'm going with the chicken.
Oh, man, she lives in California, Northern California. It's
I don't know. I'm selling this. I hope it's a sell anyway because I eat a lot of chicken.
I'm just happy we agreed on something.
Yeah, of course, Barry. Yeah, Scoreboard's taking an easy way out. Okay, this is just for Toby. Former Miss USA, Rima Faki, is trading in her crown for a headlock. Rima is appearing on the reality show Tough Enough, hoping to win and receive a contract to become a WWE professional wrestler. Faki, you may remember, almost lost her crown when pictures surfaced of her pole dancing during her reign. Miss USA becoming a pro wrestler. Buy, sell, or hold?
I love it. I love it. I'm buying it twice.
You had me on Miss USA, right, Toby?
You had me at Faki, I believe in her name.
The name. Think about the name. Think about the press.
Come on, guys. The low bar here, Leslie. Go ahead.
I'm going to say buy, and does she have to wear a cup for the SmackDown? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
a leather bustier.
I say she's a buy as well. And Scoreboard says she's a buy. All right. Israel asking Facebook to remove the page calling for a Palestinian intifada. First to the panel, and then you guys weigh in at home, and we'll tell your results tomorrow night. What do you think? Is this a buy, sell, or hold? Israel telling him.
It's a buy.
Yeah. Isn't there any implication down the line that they may get in trouble, that we may have some kind of censorship? You're not worried about that?
You know, I think that Facebook needs to come with a fair policy.
Yeah. I'm reaching, by the way, because I think it's a buy, too. But what do you think? It's a buy, sell, or hold?
I think it's a buy because of the nature of this and the fact that this is so clearly incendiary to a country.
All right. Leslie, buy, sell, or hold on what Israel's trying to do, getting it off.
I'm going to say sell. If Facebook followers and participants and account holders were asking for it, I would say buy because it's another country. Slippery slope, guys. Who comes next?
I know. It is.